The cold vacuum of space never looked as inviting as it did today, the day humanity marked its bold stride into the cosmos with Black Ghost 47. On the launch pad, shrouded in mist and pre-dawn shadow, the ship stood like a sentinel at the gates of the unknown, its sleek, dark hull glistening under the soft glow of the ground lights. In the command center, a flurry of last-minute checks and steady heartbeats filled the room, but none as pronounced as those of Captain Maya Sterling. Her eyes, reflecting a mix of steely resolve and a hint of trepidation, scanned the crew before her, each member clad in the crisp uniform of Earth's Space Command. Today, we are not just launching a ship, we are declaring Earth's readiness to stand among the stars. Maya's voice resonated through the command center, imbuing her team with a surge of confidence. As her gaze settled on the colossal viewing window, beyond which Black Ghost 47 awaited its maiden voyage, the weight of history pressed against her shoulders. This was her moment, her decision that would catapult humanity into a new era or into a celestial misstep. Outside, the early morning air was charged with anticipation. Hundreds had gathered, their breath visible in the crisp air, their faces upturned not just to witness a launch, but to see the dawn of their future. Among the distant stars, watching with unseen eyes, was the Vorlix fleet. Their commander, Varix, observed the preparations through his ship's powerful scanners, his lips curling into a dismissive smirk. Primitive humans, he muttered under his breath, confident in the superiority of his own kind. Back in the command center, Dr. Theo Wren, the chief scientist, approached Maya with a tablet displaying the latest telemetry. "All systems are green, Captain. The engines are humming beautifully," he reported, his voice a mix of nervous excitement and professional calm. Maya nodded, her focus unwavering as she replied, "Thank you, Dr. Wren. Keep monitoring those readings. Today, Earth shows its mettle." As the countdown began, Maya's thoughts briefly wandered to the challenges ahead. The mission was fraught with unknowns, and the mocking tone of the Vorlix, transmitted through a last-minute communique, echoed in her mind. They thought little of the humans' attempt to expand their reach into the galaxy. Little did they know, Black Ghost 47 was no ordinary ship, and she was no ordinary captain. The final countdown snapped her back to reality. 10, 9, 8. The numbers fell away, each tick a step closer to destiny. As one finally sounded, Black Ghost 47 ignited its engines, a brilliant flare of light against the dark horizon. The ground shook, the air thundered, and the ship ascended, piercing the morning sky. A lone arrow shot into the vastness of the unknown. As Black Ghost 47 cut through the velvet tapestry of space, the silence aboard was palpable, punctuated only by the soft hum of the ship's engines and the occasional beep of the operating systems. Captain Maya Sterling stood at the observation deck, her eyes locked on the distant stars that now felt tantalizingly close. The ship was on its final approach to Xylon, a planet whose strategic importance was overshadowed only by its rich deposits of unobtainium, a rare mineral with enormous energy potential. Inside the ship's main lab, Dr. Theo Wren was a flurry of activity. His workstation was cluttered with holographic displays of geological data and atmospheric analyses. The excitement of setting foot on Cylon drove his every move. He was particularly intrigued by the ancient signals emanating from the planet's surface, suggestive of long-lost technological wonders. "Captain, you might want to see this," Dr. Wren called out as Maya entered the lab. He pointed to a series of irregular blips on his screen. "These aren't natural geological formations. They're symmetrical, repeating. I think we've stumbled upon something, ancient, perhaps alien in origin." Maya leaned in, her curiosity piqued. "Keep a team on standby. As soon as we land, I want boots on the ground. This could change everything." Meanwhile, the Vorlix fleet, led by Commander Varix, watched the human vessel from a discreet distance. Varix's earlier amusement had turned into a begrudging interest. "Prepare to make our presence known," he ordered his lieutenant. "Let's see how these humans handle a bit of pressure." Black Ghost 47 soon entered Cylon's orbit, and the crew prepared for descent. The planet loomed large in the viewports, its rugged, verdant landscapes basking in the light of its twin suns. But as the ship began its landing sequence, a squadron of sleek Vorlix fighters appeared out of nowhere, their hulls gleaming menacingly in the sunlight. Maya's voice echoed through the ship's intercom, calm yet commanding. "All hands, brace for potential contact. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill." On the surface, the landing party, led by Dr. Wren and accompanied by armed security, stepped onto Xylon. The planet was breathtaking, with towering crystal formations and lush alien flora. But the beauty of the moment was short-lived. High above, the Vorlix ships executed a series of aggressive maneuvers, their engines roaring fiercely as they swooped close to the surface, stirring up clouds of dust and debris. Back on Black Ghost 47, Maya analyzed the situation. The Vorlix's show of force was intended to intimidate, not to engage. She kept her crew alert but restrained from retaliating. Hold positions, maintain defensive protocols, but do not fire unless fired upon, she instructed, her voice steady. The Vorlix fighters pulled back, their message delivered. Varix observed the humans' restraint with a mix of frustration and respect. "They're disciplined," he admitted reluctantly to his second-in-command. "But discipline won't save them if it comes to a fight." As the tension temporarily eased, Dr. Wren's team made an extraordinary discovery near the landing site, a hidden entrance to what appeared to be an underground facility, its architecture unlike anything known to human or Vorlix civilizations. The underground caverns of Xylon hummed with a mysterious energy, the air thick with anticipation as Captain Maya Sterling and Dr. Theo Wren led their team deeper into the ancient structure. The walls, lined with luminescent glyphs and intricate carvings, told stories of a civilization long vanished, yet their technology was alive, pulsing with power. Maya's hand hovered over her sidearm, her senses alert. Despite the peaceful mission, her military instincts remained sharp, a necessary precaution in unknown territory. Dr. Wren, on the other hand, was completely absorbed by the alien inscriptions, his device translating the symbols into understandable data. "This place, it's not just a building. It's a hub, possibly a research facility, or a power station," he murmured, almost to himself. Above ground, the uneasy truce was shattered as the Vorlix fleet, led by Commander Varix, initiated their mock attack. Sleek fighters dipped low, their weapons systems locked in a non-lethal configuration, emitting bright beams of light that sizzled harmlessly against Black Ghost 47's shields. The ship shuddered under the barrage, a stark reminder of the alien threat looming just outside. On the bridge, Maya watched the display screens with a frown. "They're testing us," she noted to her first officer. "Launch drones and initiate evasive maneuvers. Let's not give them any real targets." Back in the alien facility, the team stumbled upon a central chamber that housed a massive, dormant machine. Its design was unlike anything Dr. Wren had ever seen, blending organic curves with crystalline structures. As he approached the console, a sudden intuition prompted him to remove a small glowing artifact he had found earlier, a key as it turned out. Inserting it into a corresponding slot, the machine whirred to life, illuminating the chamber with a soft, pulsing light. Outside, the mock attack escalated as Varix grew impatient with the humans' resilience. His ships fired more aggressively, though still non-lethally, churning the air and sending vibrations through the ground. Inside the facility, the activated alien technology responded to the assault, its energy levels spiking unexpectedly. Dr. Wren observed the fluctuations and made a quick connection. "Captain, this machine, it's reacting to the bombardment. I think it's designed to absorb and convert energy, possibly as a defense mechanism." His voice was a mix of excitement and urgency. Maya grasped the implications instantly. "Can we control it?" she asked, her mind racing through tactical possibilities. "With a few adjustments, Dr. Wren redirected the machine's output to the surface, where it emitted a powerful electromagnetic pulse, EMP. The pulse surged through the ground and sky, momentarily disabling the Vorlix fighters' navigation systems and forcing them into a controlled glide. Commander Verix, caught off guard by the sudden malfunction, ordered a full retreat to regroup and assess the situation. His view of the humans transformed from amusement to a grudging respect mixed with caution. As the Vorlix fleet withdrew, Maya and her team exited the facility, their faces lit by the fading glow of the alien machine. The air was crisp, the sky clearing as the last of the fighters disappeared into the clouds. The chapter closed with the crew of Black Ghost 47 gathering to discuss their accidental discovery. Maya addressed her team with a renewed sense of purpose. "Today, we turned a potential defeat into a strategic advantage," she stated, her eyes sweeping over her crew. "Let's continue to explore and understand this technology. It might just be the key to securing our place here on Cylon, and possibly peace with the Vorlix." The implications were clear. What started as a routine exploration had now positioned humanity on the cusp of a new technological renaissance, potentially altering the balance of power in the galaxy. Under the twin suns of Xylon, the aftermath of the electromagnetic pulse left the landscape eerily silent. As the Vorlix fighters limped back to their command ship, the crew of Black Ghost 47 assessed their unexpected defensive victory. Maya Sterling convened a meeting in the main conference room, her expression both stern and contemplative. "We've bought ourselves some time, but we can't assume they won't come back. And next time, they might not underestimate us." Maya addressed her team, the glow from the holographic displays casting blue tints on their determined faces. Dr. Theo Wren stood beside her, his eyes alight with the thrill of discovery yet shadowed by the gravity of their situation. Meanwhile, Commander Verix aboard his flagship was in a fury. His pride wounded, he paced before his senior officers, his tail lashing in frustration. "Prepare the fleet for a full assault. Those humans have meddled with something beyond their comprehension. We cannot allow them to control Cylon's ancient technology," he barked, his voice a growl of suppressed rage. Back on Cylon, Dr. Wren led a select team back to the ancient facility to better understand and possibly harness the energy-converting technology they had stumbled upon. The facility was vast, its walls lined with conduits that hummed with renewed energy, resonating softly under the touch of Xylon's sunlight. As Wren and his team experimented with the controls, they discovered that the facility could do more than just emit defensive pulses. It could also create a protective energy shield around a significant portion of the planet's surface. If we can expand and stabilize this shield, it could protect the entire landing zone from any attack, Wren theorized, his voice echoing slightly in the cavernous room. Outside, Maya supervised the fortification of their perimeter. Black Ghost 47 stood at the ready, its weapon systems recalibrated for the potential conflict ahead. Maya communicated regularly with Wren, updating their strategies based on his discoveries. The breakthrough came when Wren, assisted by Kayla, who had discreetly provided insights into the facility's function based on her own people's legends, managed to synchronize the ancient technology with Black Ghost 47's systems. This integration not only enhanced the ship's capabilities, but also anchored the protective shield to a mobile command, allowing Maya tactical flexibility. As Verix's fleet returned, armed for a decisive battle, they were met with a sight that chilled even the most battle-hardened among them. A shimmering dome of energy enveloped the human encampment, turning the Vorlix's advanced weaponry useless against it. Their shots dissipated harmlessly against the shield, each failure diminishing Verix's confidence. Inside the shield, Maya initiated a broadcast to the Vorlix fleet, her image appearing before Verix with calm authority. "Commander Verix, as you can see, your weapons are ineffective. We do not wish for further conflict. Let us meet and discuss a truce." Verix, his options dwindling, agreed to a ceasefire. The tension that had gripped both sides eased slightly, though the air remained thick with the scent of caution and mistrust. The atmosphere aboard the Black Ghost 47 was charged with a cautious optimism as preparations for the diplomatic negotiations with the Vorlix fleet commenced. The conference room was reconfigured to facilitate dialogue, with holographic projectors set up to display translation algorithms and peace treaties. Captain Maya Sterling reviewed every detail personally, ensuring that the setting would foster openness and cooperation. As the Vorlix delegation, led by Commander Varix, approached the ship under a white flag of truce, Maya gathered her key advisors, including Dr. Theo Wren and Kayla, whose role as a mediator had been crucial. The airlock hissed open, and Varix, flanked by his top officers, stepped into the human vessel, his eyes wide with a mix of suspicion and involuntary awe at the advanced human technology that greeted him. The initial greetings were formal and tinged with an undercurrent of tension. Maya led the group into the conference room, where a round table fostered a sense of equality. She began with a firm yet diplomatic tone. "Commander Varix, thank you for accepting our invitation. Today we have an opportunity to forge a path of mutual respect and cooperation." Varix, still visibly uncomfortable with the situation, nodded stiffly. "Captain Sterling, your display of power has been enlightening. We are here to listen, and perhaps to reassess our stance." The negotiations unfolded with Dr. Wren providing a detailed explanation of the ancient technology, emphasizing its potential for energy generation and defense, rather than as a weapon of war. Kayla contributed by sharing insights into her people's historical reverence for the technology and the planet Cylon, suggesting that a joint stewardship could benefit both races. The discussions were lengthy, with periodic recesses to allow both sides to deliberate privately. Maya used these breaks to confer with her team, evaluating the Vorlix proposals and preparing counteroffers that upheld Earth's interests while offering substantial benefits to the Vorlix. As the hours passed, the atmosphere gradually shifted from formal and cautious to a more open exchange of ideas. The turning point came when Maya proposed an initiative for a joint research facility on Cylon, dedicated to studying and harnessing the planet's resources and ancient technologies collaboratively. Varix, who had started the day with a posture of defiance, showed the first signs of genuine interest. This facility could serve as a symbol of our willingness to learn from each other and to coexist peacefully, he mused, looking towards his advisors, who nodded in agreement. With the major terms agreed upon, the teams worked together to draft a treaty outlining the specifics of resource sharing, territorial rights, and the establishment of the joint research facility. The document was crafted to ensure transparency and equal benefits, with provisions for other Vorlix and human representatives to join the Oversight Committee. As dusk fell over Xylon, the treaty was signed aboard the Black Ghost 47, marked by a ceremonial exchange of traditional gifts between Maya and Varix. The crew and Vorlix delegates gathered to witness this historic moment, capturing images that would soon be broadcast across galaxies. The corridors of the Black Ghost 47 hummed quietly, resonating with a sense of subdued celebration and relief. Captain Maya Sterling stood at the viewport of her quarters, watching the stars twinkling against the vast backdrop of space. Xylon's surface below mirrored the night sky, speckled with lights from the new joint research facility now under construction. Maya reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. The initial mockery from the Vorlix, the tense encounters, and finally, the groundbreaking treaty that promised a future of cooperation rather than conflict. It had been a gamut, relying on untested technology and the hope that common sense would prevail over pride. Elsewhere on the ship, Dr. Theo Wren was in his lab, surrounded by data pads and artifacts from Xylon. The discovery of the ancient technology had not only averted a crisis, but had opened countless doors for scientific advancement. He was already deep into planning the first series of joint experiments with Kayla and other Vorlix scientists, their combined expertise promising to unlock even more secrets of the ancient civilization. Kayla, for her part, felt a mixture of excitement and nostalgia as she worked alongside human and Vorlix colleagues. Her decision to assist the humans had altered her path irrevocably, Yet she found a new purpose in bridging the gap between her people and humanity. Her insights were invaluable, not only in understanding the technology, but in navigating the cultural exchanges that were crucial to the project's success. Back in the conference room, Maya met with her senior officers and Varix's delegation to discuss the operational details of the research facility. Maps of Xylon were displayed, zones designated for exploration, and protocols established for sharing findings. Every decision was made with a dual focus on advancing knowledge and ensuring fairness. As evening approached, Maya organized a small, informal gathering in the ship's communal area. The event was attended by both human and Vorlix crew members, an opportunity to mingle not as diplomats or military personnel, but as colleagues and fellow explorers. Laughter and music filled the room, a stark contrast to the tension that had defined their initial interactions. Varix, who had once viewed humanity with contempt, now shared a toast with Maya. To unexpected friendships and the endless possibilities of peace, he said, his voice warm with genuine respect. Maya nodded, her smile broad and sincere. To new horizons together. The chapter closed with Maya returning to her quarters, her thoughts turning to the future. She drafted a message to Earth's Space Command, detailing the treaty and the promising developments. Her report spoke not only of the success, but of the potential challenges and opportunities ahead. Outside, the first shipment of shared resources from Cylon was being loaded onto transport ships, destined for both Vorlix and Earth facilities. It was a tangible sign of the treaty's immediate effects, a mutual benefit that underscored the importance of their cooperation. Maya ended her day standing at the viewport, her gaze fixed on the stars. The universe seemed a little smaller, a little friendlier, and filled with infinite possibilities. She felt a deep, satisfying fatigue, the kind that comes from hard-fought success and the promise of peaceful mornings to come.